So I get it. You might be tired of hearing about every single training camp and preseason battle. You're worried about the regular season Dallas Cowboys. Well, today we're looking into 3 things we've learned about the Dallas Cowboys that will matter a lot once real football begins. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mauricio Rodriguez here at A to Z Sports Dallas. We are 2 weeks into the preseason, and while I love breaking down every single aspect of the roster battles, I do want to talk about what we've learned about the starting offense and the starting defense. You know, the real things that will matter in the regular season, because I feel like sometimes we get too caught up on who's going to be the backup at this position, who is going to be that 53rd person that's going to make the roster, even though he's going to be a healthy scratch for the majority of the year. So today we're changing it up. We're looking ahead a little bit. These are 3 takeaways that I'm excited about. Number 1, I think pulling blockers is officially a thing on the Cowboys offense. You've heard me talk about this before. The Cowboys hired offensive coordinator Clayton Adams, who was previously the offensive line coach for the Arizona Cardinals. And one of the things that I was so excited about with that hire was the fact that over in Arizona, they ran a lot of counter when Clayton Adams was there. They used a lot of pulling linemen. Sometimes the pulling blockers were tight ends out of 12 personnel and 13 personnel packages. And when you look at the Cowboys run game the last few years, that has not been the case. Last year alone, the Cowboys were 22nd in the NFL in rush attempts using pulling blockers. The Cardinals were number 1 in the entire league. And of course, since Clayton Adams wasn't really calling the plays for Arizona, I wondered, are we going to see some of that DNA in the Cowboys offense? And I didn't really know. Well, based on what we've seen on training camp and even in the preseason games where the Cowboys are using a vanilla game plan, I promise you're going to see more of it. You're going to see counter be a part of the Cowboys' identity. What that means is you're going to see a more physical running team and a more explosive rushing offense as well. Because run concepts are not the same. Inside zone is great for gaining 3 yards per clip, 4 yards per clip, but a counter opens up the door for more explosive gains. It might also open the door for some busted plays, but it's worth the trade-off. Number 2, takeaways. You might have forgotten, but Matt Eberflus has a great track record of having defenses that record takeaways. And when you see clips from the first team defense facing the first team offense at practice, you're seeing them steal the ball with interceptions on Dak Prescott. You see them causing fumbles. And yes, we have some concerns about this defense, but say they're not a top 10 efficient unit. As far as they're taking the ball away, the Cowboys have a shot at having a good defense. In 4 years as defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, Eberflus' units never ranked worse than 11th in takeaways. His defense has finished 5th in takeaways in 2020 and 2nd in 2021. With the Bears, they ranked 10th in takeaways for the year and 9th in turnover differential. So yeah, I expect this to be an emphasis for the Cowboys. And number 3, and this is an overall conclusion of how I feel about the team going into the season, I believe this is not a perfect team. This is a team with roster holes at a cornerback, at nose tackle, and sure, they might bring in a veteran or 2 to try to fill them, but this is a team that is far from looking like an elite contender. However, what I believe and what I think was backed up by training camp, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, that passing game is the thing that might take the Cowboys a long way in 2025. If you ask me for the biggest argument to make to say the Cowboys are going to exceed expectations, it's got to be that. It's got to be Prescott going back to his 2023 self when he was in the MVP running. Because Pickens looks good and CeeDee looks great. And it looks like Prescott and him have that chemistry down again. So there you have it. Those are my 3 biggest takeaways that I think will matter in the regular season. Let me know what you think in the comments below.